Okay, now we are recording. Once you guys have all accepted, or I'm sure you clicked it by now. Okay, so welcome again to another mob session for RangeDB. We've co-opted the Go Study Groups meetup, and we have some people from the community as well as some internal employees at the company I work for. We'll try to stay focused on RangeDB and what moving that project forward. So with that said, I will share my screen and we'll look at the current topics up for work. Let's see. Where is that? Right here, upcoming topics. So again, RangeDB is an event store database written in Go. It's a work in progress. We have released some versions, but they're not stable versions. They are version 0.12. The reason I'm staying on version 0 is so it allows me to continue to change the API. I feel like if we can get 3 or 4 consumers of RangeDB, or 2 or 3 good backends in a stable place, we can call it version 1. Right now, the only backends are Postgres and LevelDB. EventStoreDB is a good third option. In the future, we might use Commanded or Axon IQ. I think they have a database as well. So once we get EventStoreDB, we'll get really close. The work that's remaining for EventStoreDB is, let's see, we got to add the Docker support for CI/CD and Travis. Additionally, we could get off of Travis and go straight to what is Google? Not Google. GitHub Actions.
Yeah.
Right. Another one is to potentially use the gRPC client directly. I'm starting to fall out of favor with this because EventStore is working on a new iteration of their wrapper on top of it. So we'll be a wrapper on top of their wrapper on top of the gRPC client. Just because you don't want to be making REST calls or gRPC calls directly. You might get too tied to their API. Anyways, but right now the big problem with the current implementation is the way global sequence numbers work. And so we'll probably jump into the code in a minute. Another topic is to add support for Axon, which is, I think they're a Java style ecosystem, or maybe .NET, I'm not sure. I see a lot of people from both of those ecosystems talking about Axon IQ. We can, oh, by the way, these topics are what we're going to work on in these sessions. This isn't going to be like a traditional meetup where we sit around and talk. We're actually going to write some code, or at least I'll write the code and you can kind of help guide me. One of the things is we can discuss the redesign of the CQRS and BDD package. That's just a Go package inside of the RangeDB ecosystem that allows you to build CQRS applications. We're not going to have time to get to all of these. We'll probably get to 1 or maybe 2 of these things. Maybe the most important one is just general questions. Does anyone have questions about CQRS, event sourcing, or RangeDB in general? Because any question you have, other people likely have it too. So don't be afraid to ask a silly question because it's likely not silly. Lots of people are thinking it. They just don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a good place to maybe open it up.
So how about for, man, do you think that there is a way in under 60 seconds to sort of go over, I guess, what you would maybe call the entry point for this code? Like if I were to come into this code completely fresh, what is the first couple of files I should look at?
So going to the project, there's a quick definition of what this is. It's saying it's an event store database in Go, and there's some examples. And you can always run RangeDB through Docker. If I start up I can't click on it because of Zoom. There we go, new window. So I can start it up. I probably need Docker running. That would be helpful. But yep. While Docker is starting up, you can run the database, and there's a UI on top of it.
Okay.
You just want to quickly see what it is. It's kind of a quick way to do it. Let me see what's going on here. Already allocated. Oh, I'll have to use a different port. Okay, I'll just use 8081. That's what it was. I thought Docker wasn't running. Anyways, so it starts up a UI 8081 because I changed the port.
I think you have to do
I was listening.
8081 to 8080.
Yeah, you got it. You're right.
Yeah,
8081 to
because that's
8080.
the host and that's the container
Good
port.
catch.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. We got doc. We got RangeDB, and there's no events in here. How can I quickly shove some events in? I don't want to be fumbling with that right now because you just want a 60-second what is RangeDB. So there's also an API for RangeDB. You can list all of the events, and this gives you. It's not going to do that because I don't have the ports mapped correctly with switching it. But what's a better way? Well, we can go to the example. Examples are here. So if you just want to know how it works, so here's a Go chat application written using RangeDB and the CQRS packages. This is an event model of what the chat application does. There's a variety of commands that, like, you can onboard a user, you can join a chat room, you can send a message to the room, you can send a private message to the room. And this is modeling like whenever someone for a restricted word processor, if someone says a bad word to a room, how it would warn them and all the mechanisms, right? And the code for all of this is inside of chat.go. And it's pretty like streamlined, right? Like you set up your CQRS application. This is the CQRS package we talked about a second ago. You give it a RangeDB store. So whatever store you want to use, if it's Postgres, if it's EventStoreDB, wrapped with the RangeDB implementation. You create your CQRS application with your aggregates. There's two aggregates. There's a room and a user. The aggregates just manage like what streams of events work. And these things can handle commands, but that's all defined inside of those. Here's some projections that we set up. We tell those projections to subscribe to the store, and then the app is ready to go. That's just a quick example of how like a CQRS application would work in this style. Did you have a question, Tom?
Yeah, I was going to ask, would you always do a CQRS pattern with event sourcing, or would you ever just do event sourcing without it?
I've done event sourcing without CQRS in the past, working on an e-commerce package. I needed a way to keep track of inventory and where it was specifically in the warehouse. Mm-hmm. So I created a table specifically for inventory transactions, and then basically a double entry bookkeeping ledger of from and to. And in order to know how many units of whatever product you have to get all of the transactions for that product and then play it back. And it plays all the withdrawals, but basically inserts and deductions, and builds up the state, with the state being like how many, what's the inventory of your SKU, and then where are they?
Right.
So you can do event sourcing without CQRS. They work really well together. So
I guess where's the separation between that, right? Like, I guess
it's all about who has the source of truth. If a relational database has the source of truth, CQRS starts to get more difficult, but it can be done. It works so much better together. Whenever your commands are responsible for creating events and putting them on streams and treating those as a source of truth, then you can write read model sides in the R side of CQRS to play back those events and then build up state that way.
Like the projection.
That's the projection.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's kind of beyond the scope of what we're talking about right now. I can go in more detail if you want, but I want to save time for actually writing some Go code. I think that's what people are here for. So that's one way to look at what you can do with RangeDB. There are others. Like if you kind of understand CQRS and event sourcing, and you just want to know, okay, now I just want to know how to work with RangeDB. You can use the HTTP API. You can use WebSockets, or you can use gRPC. If you want to use the HTTP API and see what get all events looks like, you come in here. There's a test if you prefix example underscore in your test, you have a file called underscore test. This will run as an example test, and it will show up in
Doc or something.
there's it's like a live documentation. Anyway, I can't remember what it's called, but as long as you specify an output, it will execute this code and verify that whatever spits out to standard out matches. And it's basically a test, but working code. So in order to get all of the events, we set up we had to random seed because of the way IDs are generated. But anyways, we create an in-memory store of RangeDB. This in-memory store is in the package in-memory store, which is on RangeDB. Where is that thing? So right here, right? Every time there's an interface in RangeDB, there will be a provider directory with all of the providers of that interface. In this case, in-memory store. So we create an in-memory RangeDB with a clock, which uses a sequential clock that makes it easier for us to, the clock is at 0, and then it ticks forward 1 tick at a time. It makes it for the test to be understandable. We also have a UUID generator, and we're passing in a seeded one. So anytime a UUID gets created, like an event ID or aggregate ID, because I have seeded it here, it works. I'm going to be changing this soon. I think it's changed in the rest of the test, but this is just an example test. If I'm going too in detail on this, just let me know. I just want to make sure that, because it's kind of important with Go. Like these are really great tests for people to have like living documentation. Now we create the API, which is a RangeDB API. This is this is how you would start up a server. Oh, I just got a phone call. I kind of need to take this. Whatever, they can wait. Okay, so we create a RangeDB API, which is effectively, do we have that? 8081. This API right here. So we're starting that API, and then we're creating a new HTTP test server so that we can make calls to it. And this is a Golang testing, or I don't want to say Golang. This is a Go testing mechanism. So you can always use this HTTP test package, which is on net HTTP. And if you'll see this pattern as in RangeDB as well. Anytime there's a package, and I want to provide helpers for use in your tests, you can do HTTP test. So that's super helpful. Create that server with our API. So now we've got RangeDB API in memory running. We create a context. I use this with timeout quite a bit in my tests. I have helpers in other parts of the tests. This is just in case something weird happens. This method won't run more than 5 seconds. So that's why that's there. A little helper method for printing errors. Ignore first number is a way to strip off the first number of what this returns. I think it returns a number and an error or something like that. Anyways, we save a couple of events to the event store. And this is how you call in-memory store save. We create an event record of thing was done. So we shove a thing was done in the event, which is the number 100. We do another save on another aggregate called another was complete. So now we have 2 events in the event store. And if we call an HTTP get against the events.json, and the URL comes from that server that we created from HTTP test, right? Like, so you create a test server, and then you can get the URL, which contains the correct port and all that fun stuff. If we go to /events, which is that, but with 81, so I'll switch it. So 81, we would be making a call to this API endpoint. Right now, there's no events in that store. But if there were events, we call get. We read all of the response body, and that response body is effectively just JSON. And the JSON contains a record object in JSON format. And this data is the event. So thing was done contains this data. That's what was here. So it has an ID and a number, right? And any metadata. So if you want to put any kind of tracing in your event record, you can have metadata on top of the event. So that's what that's for. And then here's your other event. So that's how the tests, the living documentation tests work with RangeDB. And you can look at all the different ways you can call it. gRPC is kind of the same way if you want to get all of the events. There's a little bit more setup you have to do for setting up the gRPC server. I don't want to get into that. Just know that it spins up a Go routine running that server, and then we can make gRPC calls to it. So if you're curious how gRPC works in Go, this is a quick way to do it. This is using the generated RangeDB client. So you don't have to run protobuf at all. You can just consume this directly, which is really convenient. A lot of packages will make you run your own, build your own stuff, and it's just there for you. So that's all. That's longer than 60 seconds, but I thought it was important to go through. If you're curious about crypto shredding, there's some ways to like encrypt and decrypt events automatically, which is kind of cool. A lot of other providers charge you for this kind of thing. For RangeDB, it's kind of built in for free. All right, that's enough just talking. I'm going to open it up for one more round of questions, and then we're just going to jump into this thing. Good. Cool. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is to continue on with this global sequence number. Let me show you some Go code and explain what the problem is. This should be fun. All right, so I've got this helper. There's a RangeDB test package, and there's a function called VerifyStore, and you can pass in any store you want. Right now, it's being passed in with, we have an in-memory store, we have a level DB store, we have a Postgres store, we have a remote store, we have an encrypted store. So there's quite a few providers on the back end. The encrypted store just does automatic encryption and decryption of events if you wanted to do that. The remote store uses the gRPC API, and the Postgres looks like it has two because there's some there's two ways to run the Postgres store, with and without PG notify. I'm not going to get into that right now. We want to know about the level DB store. So I guess I can quickly show you what this VerifyStore is for by looking at the in-memory one first. Mostly to refresh my understanding of what you do. So if you wanted to build a new backend for RangeDB, all you would have to do is call RangeDB Test VerifyStore, and then there's a callback to return a new store, because every time a test runs, it needs to get a new store. So this is a function that's going to return the store, and it's given a clock, a UUID, and a UUID generator. That's what the VerifyStore methods do. So if we look over here, we have VerifyStore, get all events by stream, and there's you see how this callback to new store? So we call new store and we pass in our sequential clock and then our UUID generator. So that's what that's for. And then all you have to do is just whatever the means is to start your store, you do it. And within memory, it's pretty simple. You just create a new in-memory store, you pass in the clock and the UUID generator, and you bind events, and you're done. Let's see. So EventStore has to do a little bit more. We have to make sure that the Docker container is running. And if it's not, we just tell you, hey, you need to run the thing. So if I run this test, I think I already have it running though. No, I don't have it running. Okay, so if I run the test, it will complain and say, wait a minute, EventStoreDB was not found. You need to start it. So that's what we'll do. We'll start an insecure MemoryDB version of EventStore. Okay, now it's ready and running, and then I'll rerun the test. It tries to ping it. That's how it knows if it's not running. And if it does, it just does a t-skip. It passed all the tests. They all passed. You can get events by stream, right? Like all the different ways you can get an events by stream. And that goes a whole collection of tests. So we call VerifyStore. And then I have to do some interesting things to make this work. I have to do a special cleanup at the end of every test to add a stream prefixer to tick the version. And I have to reset the global sequence number. I don't want to do these things because right now the RangeDB is incompatible with EventStoreDB, in that RangeDB expects whenever you have a store, the very first event that you save to it starts with global sequence number 1. And the next one you put in there is 2, no matter what stream it's on. Well, not all event stores are made the same. And EventStoreDB doesn't have a global sequence number in that way. It just has what's called an offset. Now it is monotonically consistent, which means it increments. It's just a fancy math word for it's an incrementing number, but they have two numbers. So we need to change this implementation to use one of them instead of faking the global sequence number that we are faking. And I'll show you how it's being faked. New event store. So here's the implementation for event store. And here's how I'm faking it. I've got a list of deleted streams. And actually, I'm not faking it in the same way I was before. Before, I just had the global sequence number on this struct. I think we're saving it in the event itself. So let me find that global.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, no, it is here. Sorry, it's here. So I have to create this ugly little mutex to keep track of the global sequence number because it's not supported in the way that I expect, or the way RangeDB expects, as well as deleted streams and saved streams. I don't think save streams is being used. So we could probably rip it out right now, but I'm not gonna do that yet. Deleted streams is a different problem. What's up?
Potentially dumb question. So the struct bracket is that's like the type that just it's all types, right? This is going to get fixed, or is this something that just because we don't know the name, we don't know the shape of the stream, we have to keep it flexible?
This is a trick and go. So
Right.
This is a map that all I care about is a way to keep track of certain identifiers. And struct just means, well, we don't care about the value. This could be bool, right? Like it could be bool, but the way that it's like, let's look at deleted streams, how someone inserts. So this is optimistic delete stream. Forget optimistic, just know that we're going to delete a stream of events.
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep track of which ones were deleted because inside of EventStoreDB, they have what's called a soft and a hard delete, and neither one of those immediately removes the data from the stream. So if you're reading from the all stream, they're still there. And I needed a way to keep track of which ones I have deleted temporarily. Tom says other languages have a set data structure, basically just need the key. Yeah. So we're talking about this map. So this is a way to, like, this could have been true, but the struct is like a 0 memory footprint and a Boolean is like 8 bytes or something, or 1 byte, whatever it is.
Interesting. Yeah.
Bool might be smaller, but I'm not sure. But this is just a common way and go to, it's really, you're probably not gonna come across it that often, but I'm so accustomed to creating one of these like this that this could probably confuse somebody.
Gotcha.
But this is creating an empty struct with 0 value.
0 byte. All right.
So that's a good question. Like that was not a dumb question at all. Okay. So I had to do these silly things like keeping track of the global sequence number to make RangeDB happy. The thing is, this global sequence number, we can probably just trust the commit position in EventStore. And by commit position, I mean, when we save the events, I don't know if we get, when we save, where do we call save to? Append to stream. It gives you a write result. Gives you a write result. I don't know if we have access to it, right? So they do give us a commit position. So we need to find a way to say this global stream, whatever, the global stream sequence number needs to be equal to that. But if we do that, the tests are going to break because the tests expect, if I save an event to the store, I expect the global position number to be 1. And it really, the tests need to change. Does that make sense? It probably makes sense to Tom because he's kind of seen this, or at least more so than everyone else, because this is like we're deep in the guts now of this project. So if this looks confusing, please stop me. I'll try to answer.
I was just gonna say, just keep going and I'll figure out.
Okay. Okay. So I'll just show you the test. Maybe that'll help clarify some things. So we have the test. If I have a store, I want to see that if you query events by stream, right? Starting at position, oh, events by stream. Yeah, it's probably okay to start. So this is in a single stream, and you can ask for the stream by the stream sequence number. The stream sequence numbers start with 1, but you can ask for 0 to give me all the events of the stream. Let me just go straight down what happens. So we create a store. We insert 3 events. 2 of them are on aggregate IDA, right? Those are IDA. That means we have to save those separately. And then 1 event is on aggregate IDB, and we save that separately. You can't save events. You can't save cross-stream events at the same time. You have to do it one at a time. So now there's 3 events in the store. If I ask for this aggregate events, there should be 2 in there. It should be event A1 and A2. So down here, we have a little helper, assert records in iterator. So when you call events by stream, it returns an iterator. And a record iterator basically has a next method, an error, and a record. So if you're very familiar with iterators, that's, I think it's over here. You can range over, let's see. Actually, that's not the way to do it, but it's basically an iterator. I don't know how to explain it. But I have this nice little helper method that I can assert that these values are exactly in that iterator. The problem comes from this global sequence number. I'm expecting it to be 1 and 2, but in EventStoreDB, that's not going to be the case. So how can we change this assert records iterator? All it really needs to do is assert that the global sequence number here is less than this one, or they're in that order. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's because event store, it's non-deterministic, right? Other than the fact that the first event will be greater, but it's not going to be like 1, 2, or not even like 10, 11.
Yeah, it'll be some kind of byte offset. That's exactly right. It's non-deterministic, and that's it's been one of my gripes, but I can't force them to implement something a certain way. Like, it's just not possible.
Right.
They're designed for scale, and this is a little pet project. So I don't know how many places check for global sequence number. If they all check inside of our assert records and iterator, then we can just do it in one place. Let's just take a quick peek. How many places? Okay, so here's one that does not look in the iterator. So we'll probably have to write a helper method to expect a record to ignore global sequence number. Okay, so we got, but anytime, this is going to be the best way, assert records in iterator. That's fine. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so here's another one that's an individual check. We'll have to do that. I think if we just do assert record, if we fix it in here to just do a monotonic thing, we'll be fine. Okay, yeah, we're good. So usually I run all of the tests for EventStore, but I really only want to focus on this one while I'm working on assert records and iterator. Oh yeah, right, result. We did this stupid thing. Let's undo that. Go doesn't like you to set variables and not use them. Okay, so the trick to, like, I can't click a plus button or a play button to run these tests because they're part of a helper method. In order to run just this test, just for EventStore, there's a trick for this. Return to events. I can go grab this test name, and I can come in here, edit my configuration, and there's a pattern whenever you're running tests. And tell it, well, just run that one test, and it will just run returns to events. It looks like it picked up this other one too. Let's see. I think you can do a regex pattern. What's the end of a thing, like this, or is it $? I can't remember.
I forget.
I think it's $. It might be backwards, but yeah, okay, it's $. The caret is the front and $' is the end. So now it's just running this one test. Okay. Now we can, I say we quickly make this thing work. Oh, it's down here at the bottom. Okay, so we'll just close this other stuff. How can we make assert records and iterator ignore global sequence number?
We don't want to ignore it, but you probably want to keep track, right?
Track of it, yeah.
The last one and do a validation that my current record is greater than it, right?
Right. So last is going to be a uint64. Is it uint or int? I can't remember. And then as we come across a record, can I split this? Go all the way back up here, how we're consuming it. Let's get this out of the way. Yeah, so the first one is 1. And right now last is 0. Well, we won't be able to do the require equals because expected.
Yeah.
I guess we could just say like require true. Or is there a greater than? Greater. Awesome. Greater T. What is it? Oh shit. P. E1, E2. What does that mean? Is E1 greater than E2? So if we want to ensure that record iterator dot record dot global sequence number is greater than last, that probably needs to happen after we verify that there is a next one. I don't know. So if the current record that we're looking at is greater than the last one, then keep going. Right, and that will be successful here.
Yeah.
If that's true, we need to tick it or set it. Last is equal to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got to do something here.
You're gonna have to compare.
Can I set expected dot global to be equal to this thing?
I mean,
Kind of hardwire
it. You can do that.
These are pointers though, so it could potentially affect what you pass in. Let's just see if that works. I'm kind of curious if it's even going to work. Still passes.
Yeah.
We might need a test to enforce amount of, I don't even know. There's probably some tests in there to ensure that they're in order. But we still need a way to test. Like, that's not good enough. We need kind of a helper method that does this for us. So it's like we call assert records, assert equal records. I don't know, pass in T, expected, and then record iterator dot record. What is I? Oh, it just tells you which number you're working with. I guess we can do a message in args or something.
Yeah.
Message in args. Whatever. So that's, wait, that's not what I want to do. I want to pass in I. So create function, takes a T, expected record. Look at that, it doesn't know the right name. Record, actual record. How about just expected and actual? Kind of redundant. That. And then this is message in args. And then that's just all it does. And that will replace this. And this is just expected. And this is just actual. And then da-da-da. Okay. So we kind of tucked that away. And now we need to do we can probably just assign it expected.global equals actual, not global. But this is a pointer. We probably don't want there to be a pointer. So we do it like this. So now we're mutating the local value of it. Is that right?
Yeah, it'll be passed in as a copy, and it won't modify the underlying struct.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's equivalent to what we did. It's actually a little more readable too, not doing that weird thing. And then we can call assert records assert equal records equal, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's run the whole enchilada. No, I edited it. I'm expecting this to do the exact, I think it's going to pass because we haven't changed the implementation yet.
Yeah,
That should work. Now we need to, anytime there's an assertion on the actual value, it will break. How about let's go back to that test. I think that we probably need to make it, we probably need to implement it first because I don't want the other test to be barking while we kind of poke around at it. Exploratory test it. So we're just running return to events. Let's go to store. Okay, so here's the implementation. What I want to do is rip out global sequence number. This is normally how I'll do it. I'll just run the test and it will tell me where I need to fix. So we don't need to reset global sequence number anymore. Let's kill that method. What else is broken? We don't need to do that anymore. Now we got to go implement this thing. Okay. So saving events. What do we put in the record on EventStore? I don't know. Because right now, like EventStore, we kind of, RangeDB uses its own record and encapsulates it, puts it inside of EventStore instead of using their stuff. So I guess I could just always have it be 0. Just anytime there's a global sequence number in, if you were to peek inside under the hood in EventStoreDB, it would just be 0. But when we pull it out, we're actually going to assign it the value that we get from this write result. Is that right? Is that what we're going to do?
Yes. I don't want to go too ahead, but like, what happens when you save multiple events at once? I mean,
that's what we're doing. This save
Okay.
events takes multiple event records. So we have to iterate over those. And the trick is going to be, how do we get access to the global sequence number? Because we have these pending events we have to deal with. Because when you save, we need to tell other people that there's updates.
Right.
And that's what pending events is for. And we may need to, instead of doing it here, we'll probably have to do another iteration through these events to build it up. Are pending events even used though? Yeah, down here we have to tell the broadcaster, go update your subscribers or tell your subscribers about these events. We can't iterate through pending events. We'll have to iterate through. Yeah, we have to iterate through event records and then marry up. Oh God, yes, you're right. Append to stream is only going to give me the
current.
Right. What is it called? Right result.
Right result.
You're right.
I didn't want to.
Is that just?
I didn't want to jump too far without test drive, but I also wanted to call it out now before we start going down a path that might not even exist.
The quick and dirty way is to only write one at a time.
Yeah, I know, which is not performant, but
does this, so this is EventStoreDB's Go client, and it has an append to stream. It returns a stream revision. Oh wait, it takes a stream revision for optimistic concurrency, returns a write result. It's just a wrapper for the gRPC client. Where is the handle? Okay, so send. So it creates a stream client, append operation, stream client append. Oh. What do you think? Do you think there's a way that it will give you back all the IDs that it created? I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either.
Is
Wait,
it,
scroll.
are you ever going to want to put more than one event to a store and that be the performance bottleneck? Like, are you going to save 100 events? Are you ever going to, I feel like you're just going to call it once or twice, or you'll only ever raise 1 or 2 events, like less than 10, most likely. So if we call it iteratively.
I mean, here's what I'll say is like, don't, what is it? Don't premature optimization or something, right?
Yeah.
That like, we should get this working how like we want. And then when there is an issue, a bottleneck, then we address it versus like starting out with the most performant way.
Yeah. Let's look at the Postgres implementation.
Yeah.
I think it does something very similar. So save events. Save events. Has to lock that stream, which is a user.
Exact.
Yeah. I don't want to get into that right now. Event records to batch. So it creates, it does a batch insert.
Yeah.
But I believe what this does is the batch insert returns the global sequence numbers. And then we put that back in the save results. So if you call save events, it has a save result, and then it notifies the subscribers because it has access to all of those global sequence numbers. So we go through each batch record, and it looks into the save result and gets the global sequence number for the one that we got. So
The return.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if EventStoreDB supported that, we could do it this way.
Right.
But
But
because they only give you one return in the gRPC client, at least in the way it's currently written, I don't know if they've updated it. Oh crap, they have updated, but I don't know if this is part of the update.
And I can look at the documentation.
Let's
real
do
quick.
the like you said. Let's ignore optimization.
Yeah, we
Just save
can
one at a time.
improve.
Yeah.
Later.
But we will have to do this stream revision thing. If you pass in an expected stream sequence number, it behaves differently. The new stream revision. So we got 2 scenarios. One is optimistic save, one is just save. I guess we can just deal with that later. Because we would have, what is stream revision? Oh, it just says, it says any, but if you pass one in, then we'll use this. And then we can increment, we can add an incrementer here. Okay, we're fine. So write result. So we'll take that out. We don't need global that anymore. So pending events will still work because we'd save it one at a time. We serialize the record data. And then last stream equals record. Yeah, as long as we serialize it, we can do our stuff. So this is where we do the save a single event, but we're not building up these events, right? We're saving a single proposed event. Event UID. All right, so we'll do that up here. Wait, what? Event metadata? Okay, so we need all that. Okay. But instead of, we'll just have one event. Proposed event.
Yep.
So we have a proposed event. Does that have to take a slice of proposed events? All right. What's it called?
Message. Yeah.
It needs to be a slice of those.
Curly brackets. Yeah.
There we go. And now, so we have the record with our 0. Actually, if I'm going to comment it, might as well make it a constant.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that better than the comment?
It's way better.
Almost always. We create the proposed event. We get the right result. Why is this complaining? Weird. Oh, because I deleted it and it took it out of the imports. So now we have a right result. We need to set the record.globalSequenceNumber equal to right result.commit position. Oh, that just worked because it was a uint64. But our pending events is going to be a problem because where are pending events? Oh, we're just, yeah, record data. We'll have to double serialize it. Record data is serialized of the record that we use to insert record data. That's what we put in the proposed event.
Okay.
So we'll have to re-serialized with global seq with right, and then that is what gets put into pending data. So that will update subscribers and all should be well. I think that will work. Don't normally code like this, but no, it's declared but not used. We don't need that. You think it's going to work? Uh-oh, more unused. Of course, we don't have to reset anymore. Yay. Please pass. Please pass.
0 is not greater than 0.
So where is that?
That's in the
This is returns to events. That's not where I want to be.
yeah, right there.
So global sequence number was 0. That should not have happened. This is the expected.
Either way.
Wait, is that the actual? What is going on here? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just the first one should be greater than the second one.
Yeah, either way, they're both 0.
Yeah, so we have, there should be 2 events. Yeah, you're right. We didn't do the re-inject afterwards because we had to save it to EventStore with this placeholder. Oh yeah. So now we got to do the part where we get events, and we'll have to do it in 3 places. But for right now, we got to do it in 1. Is it events by stream we're testing?
Events by
stream. Yeah, events by stream. Okay, so that's where we're doing it in 1 place. So when we get a record out and we deserialize it, we have to reset the record.globalSequenceNumber equal to the resolved event dot
commit,
or is it event dot, is there a position here? Position dot commit. Is that the same as resolved event dot commit?
I don't know.
Oops. Because that would be super convenient, other than it being a pointer. What is that? Resolved event commit. He sets that. Get resolved event from proto. Commit.
How does event get?
It's got the commit position, so it looks like that's the commit position. This might be part of their transition to commit position.
The only
We can try
problem,
both.
yeah, the only problem, it's a pointer. Are both of them pointers?
No, this one's not. That one reads better, but this is probably better. But let's try this one first because that should probably work.
Yeah, I just saw like if there isn't one, they just make it nil.
Okay,
And
here we
that-
go. This
Yeah.
giant number is not greater than that giant number because they're equal.
How's that possible?
When we call,
Are they the same?
let's see,
Oh,
we didn't increment, did we? We just set it to the current one. So
I
it's the
bet.
second time through.
Yeah. I bet you they have the same commit.
You think so? Can we go to EventStoreDB and see? Is that the port for it? Yeah. And then there should be an all stream. Oh, you gotta enable it. Oh crap! What is the thing for enabling it? There's a
I think
README for it.
you need to do the projection, turn the projections on or something.
Yeah, that's right.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, I added it here. This is
Yeah.
to do it with UI
Yeah.
features. I probably want to do MDB too. I don't think it matters if you do MDB, but I kind of want to do it that way. Okay, let's restart it. Make sure we can see the projections, like a stream browser. And now let's run the test. And there should be a couple of events in there. Oh, those numbers were eerily the same. I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither. Okay.
Which thing is it?
Whichever one has two events, right?
Yeah, let's click the first one. So that's got one event. That's got two events.
Yeah.
Is there a way to look at the commit position from the UI? It doesn't look like you can.
No.
Well, unless, is that it?
No, it was ended in like 8.5.
Oh,
I
this is
think.
this is the version number that we put
Set.
in so that we can have the test run without having to restart the server. Oh, this is like the JSON too. I was halfway expecting, yeah, that's the placeholder number.
Yeah.
Is global sequence number a uint or an int? Because placeholder could be -1 if that is more readable. I think that's a little bit more readable. Not related to what we're working on, but I kind of want to.
Yeah. That
I think that's
you don't
that would
want to
stand out more.
put it to 0 because I think Event Store actually uses 0, right?
Well, EventStore doesn't know about that part of the record. Uh-oh. Constant overflows you. Oh, it is a uint. Okay, so it has to be 0 for the placeholder. That's fine. I thought the IDE would have told me that that's not possible.
You know what's weird though? You've run that test 3 times and that's the
ends-
same number.
Let's see if that really is. It might just end in similar offset numbers. Let's see if it's actually the same. It's the exact same number. That's not expected. Is that an overflow? It's not greater than. Where is this value? The global sequence number. Well, we're setting it when we come here. Let's just log them.
Yeah.
We got that thing and commit.
It's the same one.
Why is that coming back the exact same both times?
How do you call to get their records?
How do you call it? What do you mean?
Like you call EventStoreDB, right? And you grab all the events, right?
Yeah, that's up here. Read stream events.
I'm thinking they don't.
Look,
They're
let's
just-
get these out. These are the events we expect. Last view. Log.print f percent v resolved event dot event. Yeah, maybe that'll give us something to look at. It's got some ugly stuff, but this is our encoded JSON data.
Right.
So here's the stream ID. So that is an event, but this commit position is just the overflowed max value. Same thing for that. What's up with that, man? Is it because it's a memory thing? Memory DB?
I don't know.
Am I reading that
No,
correct? Isn't that the maximum integer value? That's why it's that specific number.
yeah, just
Look at that.
yeah, that's
that
it.
number looks familiar.
It looks so familiar.
So that's the,
There's the
is their Go client not working? I would expect whenever you call read stream events that it give you, you got the read stream, and then we receive a resolved event from it. I would expect commit or that to be correct. Can we poke at this and see? Let's go to this one. There's got to be a way to look into the event and debug it in their stuff. Is that like an admin thing? No. Maybe I should reach out to some of the guys building the Go client for them. You want to look into it and see what's going on?
I mean, I feel like we have to.
Read internal. We can probably add some logging in here somewhere and see what's up, why the commit is wrong, or at least not what we expect. New read stream. It's gonna be hard because we call a receive here. And oh, look at that promise. I've never seen that word used in Go. Read stream has been terminated. ISP. So there's a channel. I don't understand this one. If you just made it and then you read from it, what is a read response? What is that thing? An event or an error?
So they make a channel and then they set the read streams channel to that channel.
Is this generated code? This might be. No, that's not generated.
And then
I'm wondering if it just doesn't work. Let's go take a peek at. I didn't spell it right, but they'll find it. EventStoreDB Go client. I think there's a branch that conformity. So they're working on this branch. I wonder if it's been fixed.
Does anybody else have an issue? Say like issues?
Commit's gonna be a hard word to look. I can look for it. A lot of comments on the PR.
Ensure the position expectations are correct.
They don't have it in there. That's what the problem is. And it's an open issue.
Yeah.
Well, we can try to back out of our changes and update to this pull request. But I don't know that they have fixed it all. We can look at what they changed. What file do we care about? It's read stream events. Or is it just receive? Or just look for commit.
Commit.
That's not changed. Original event, that didn't really change. Set from position. This looks like a test, but they're setting the position. Reading all events from that position, okay. Can't imagine it wouldn't be there though.
I mean, it's strange because they do have, it looks like they have decent tests
Yeah,
surrounding it.
they're at least poking at commit and prepare. Like, there's no way this is going to be a simple fix, right?
No.
What is this? I've never seen that before. What does that represent? Interesting. This is a sample. Subscribe. Let's subscribe. Let's see if they do. How many samples are here? Server side. Oh, so they added a bunch of samples. Okay, cool. Can I look at this branch and go look at those samples? Do you know how to look at the branch? You do like this or something?
The branch?
Yeah. View
Yeah.
file. Now it's on that, and then I can browse to that and then go to samples. Reading events. Read stream events. I wonder if we have to do something here with the options differently than what I'm doing. Stream name.
So they're using client read stream event options.
Let's go see what I'm using, if that's.
I mean, it's takes
It's changed. There's changed their implementation for this.
I see.
So it's no longer taking that.
Stream position.
Yeah. And stream position. Set from result. Yeah, so they changed how this works. You don't call it this way anymore. Like the position, stream position, you actually have to call a setter on the request. Oh. Well, we're kind of stuck. We don't have access to commit, and we've got some hairy changes here.
I'd almost stash it.
Yeah, we can stash it. I just wonder how it's going to affect, because we have to change how we call their stuff, and this one's going to get really messy.
You could, if you wanted, you could check in the monatomic assertions.
Yeah, good call.
I mean, if you want to change the test assertions, that's, I mean, otherwise you could just stash the whole thing
Stash it all, and then
and deal with them. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna take. We've got like 40 minutes. I'll shelve it. Shelve changes. This is atomic fix. Okay, back to square one. Let's go to the project. And we want to use this version. How do I get their branch version? Let's do this. Go here. Here's the branch. 5 branches.
API conformity.
I think that's the one.
What's
And then grab the latest commit from 6 hours ago. That one, and then we just do a go get you. .com. Go at that. So this is how you tell go get to go to a specific version, and it should pin to 362, whatever that is. There it is. Now it's all broken.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, let's run the test and just tell, we'll just fix it as it complains. Too many arguments to read all events. So this takes an ops for read all event options and then a count. Where was that sample stuff?
That was on that branch. And then
It's gotta be samples.
maybe that one. Yeah, the top one. And then samples.
Reading events. Do just like this. So s.client, oops, read all events. Oh, that's not the one wrong. So it's just client read all events and then how many you want. Oh wait, is it how many?
I don't, or from where? Maybe it's from where?
Yeah, let's see a second. Some string. Oh, that's okay. Let me back up. Read all events. Options. ES client. Okay. We don't need that. Okay. Count is probably how many you want, but I think you can just pass in like the maximum integer number and that will give you everything. At least that's what it was before. Read all event options has direction, position, and resolve links. It's defaults to all stream position and direction likely forward. That's a little bit better, certainly a better API.
Yeah.
Let's see what other ones are broken.
I mean, they basically took a struct for what you were passing in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's perfectly fine. Same thing. Read stream events. This takes a stream ID and then the read stream event options and then account. That one. We'll probably need this
Yeah.
for a revision. Let's give it true so it stops complaining. What can we pass here?
Stream position.
How come it doesn't give me the option to?
So struct.
Oh, because it's, whoa. Oh, I have to do it a different way. I can't just, I have to say that thing and then set the stuff.
You probably,
A la builder. Dot revision. Set from revision.
yeah.
Takes a uint. Why is it complaining? Probably need to make this a pointer. I don't know what.
Huh?
I'm looking to see how they use it. So you have to do it and then set it, and then you can inject it.
Inject it, yeah. You gotta extract to a variable.
Yeah. Options. Page stream. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I want.
Yeah.
I think the go way is to call it ops, but I don't know. It's
Yeah.
because it doesn't return the thing. We can't do it the way I was expecting.
Right.
I put this on one line since it's not so bad now. Okay. Next. Tombstone takes a Tombstone stream options. Expected stream. Oh, we'll have to do it again like we just did. Okay, so we'll do that. And then Tombstone dot expected revision, and then that version. Uh-oh. Which also takes an expected revision thing, stream revision, not expected revision. What is that? It's an interface. Oh shit. Let's see how they do it. I'm the only consumer. This is an interface. Let's look for any
implementation.
exact. So we need an exact revision exact. How do I get a revision exact? It's just a struct with a value on it. There has to be a constructor for it, right? How can I set exact? Okay, this is called exact, and it returns the okay, gotcha. Exact, like that. That's overly complicated for that concept. That's okay. Yeah, proposed event. Oh, so I'll have to do a proposed event separately.
What is there, a constructor?
Probably.
Because all that stuff is,
It looks
private.
like they just, you create the struct and then there's no
You have to-
constructor. So you
you
just
have
do a
to-
proposed event dot whatever. And if it was like that, then they should probably be returning this thing so you could build it, but it's not that big of a deal. So messages, proposed event. Oh yeah, can't do it that way. Proposed event dot event ID, UUID. Why does that not work? Wait, how do you set it then?
I think it's called set.
Ah, set. That's not a very good way to do it. Okay.
There you go. So you have to do that for all the properties.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Yeah.
How do you get multiple cursors? Just paste
If
them
you
like that.
were, yeah.
Dot set, whatever that is, with whatever that was. I can't get them all. event type, content type.
There you go.
I refuse to do it twice in a row. Oh, can I not set user metadata? Set metadata. It's not user metadata anymore. Okay, that's not the end of the world.
And you just inject that. Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got here? Stream revision any. Is it any or revision any? Expect revision, and that returns the, okay, I like that better. And then this has dot exact. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh, append to stream is different. Stream ID, append to stream options, and then the messages. Okay. Stream revision.
Options. And stream options or something.
Append to stream options. Dang it. Append to stream options. There you go. Oh, then you have to do this stream. This is
What do you-
append to stream. I know I don't have to do it this way, but
No.
expected, set expected revision. Stream revision, wait, or can I just reuse this stream revision as is?
I forget what the code was before.
We pass in an expected revision, and that takes an expected revision. So set expected revision. And it has to be a value of, so I can't,
But you just took it. So
is that not an expected revision? I'm confused. Is there not a way to set their append to stream options with, oh, here you go, set expected revision? Set
Yeah.
expect, oh, that's a weird, that was really confusing. Set, okay, that, no, I'm not a fan of that. Events takes a bunch of, what?
slice. You need to make it a slice.
Isn't it a slice?
Or wait. Or maybe it only takes one.
Proposed event, events. Do I have to do dot, dot, dot? Yeah, okay. Yeah, because it doesn't take a slice, it takes a, oh, look at that, it worked. So we can commit this. You go back to, I don't want to be on the shelf, I want to be on the commit stuff. Do you know how to do that?
No.
How do you, okay, here we go. Does it might work for all of the tests? Let's
Yeah,
see.
probably.
I need to do that before I commit. We got half an hour left. I have a feeling I have to call this person back. Okay, that passed, so we can commit this. Updated to, what is this thing called? API conformity. Yeah, I'm on the InMemory VerifyStore client. What is this warning? Ah, hush, hush. Ignore that I didn't call that. Commit anyway. And push. Okay. That wasn't too painful. That only took a few minutes. Now we go to
Yeah.
the shelf. Let's bring back monatomic, and that's gonna probably be a problem because it's gonna conflict and we got to do conflict resolution. Welcome to the fun. So the middle is what the end result is. The left was the
What you
update.
just did, right?
The right is the shelf, right? Yeah, patch version of the shelf. So we need to go boom, boom. Okay, next. Which one do we want? I think we want that one.
Yep.
Next, that one. That one.
Yeah. You basically want to take in.
Most of the left, but some problems are going to happen over here because we changed how the order of things. Now I think we can just take the left side and then redo the right side manually. It's probably going to be the easiest. Yeah, I'm going to take the left side. Do we yank out global sequence number? I don't care, whatever. We'll just, it'll be ugly for a minute. Is that it? Apply. And we just know that we got to redo this stuff. Or maybe the
Yeah.
API changed. Hopefully the API changed and we'll be able to get the numbers back. I don't know. If we run all the events, it's going to fail massively. Might not even compile. Oh, it compiled.
That's surprising. And it all passed.
Did we get tests working?
Well, that's because we're still using the global sequence number, right?
Look, this is here. It's, oh yeah, you're right. We ignored that part of the flip over.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we have to
Good catch.
yeah.
We'll just redo what we were doing a second ago. So, but in order to do that, I want to just run one test.
Yeah.
There's a tiny chance we can get this done in 20 minutes, 10 minutes. 10
Yeah.
minutes. Events by stream returns 2 events. Grab that guy. I'm really happy that they made some changes to the API though. They're moving it forward, so that's good. At least the Go API.
Yeah.
Okay, global sequence number. Let's not do this anymore. I feel like I've been here before. No more locking. Got this stuff. What was it?
Placeholder. Yeah.
Let's hold. Placeholders, global sequencing number 0. Okay, what else? We'll move that. All right. 0, 0. Now we got to do that thing again. And it's on this right here, events by stream. If you hold down Option Command, you can go to that one, go down, read stream events. Now, it's not read stream, we do the save events. That's the one that's the problem. Save events. When we get this thing,
Yeah.
what is it called?
Right.
Right result.
Yeah.
And we get 1. So we're going to do the manual method.
Yeah.
In order to do that, we need to do this jazz. Bring it up in here and do it each time. And right after we serialize, we're going to try to save it. Okay, that's right. That gets synced out. Try to save it. We got a write result, and then we go record dot global sequence number equals write result dot commit position. We need to reserialize the record so that we can broadcast it. We do it, yeah, right here. reserialize it, and then that gets broadcasted. What is this? Proposed event. That's supposed to go up above the thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And to stream events. We're only going to do one. Event metadata, where'd that come from? Keep that here. Okay, I'm going to do one event, proposed event. Okay. Probably going to complain about this. And then if that works, the retrieve is going to fail. So now we got to go to events by stream. And this is where we re-inject the global sequence number. Do you think it's going to be updated?
I hope so. Because
Dot global sequence number equals resolved. I honestly don't think this is going to be here. What's the problem here? Reference it. It's going to be the max UI event invalid memory edge. Whoa. Whoa.
yeah, if you go to resolved event,
let's go to it. Right here. It might have a commit. Is that what we're dealing with?
yeah.
Do we need to call original event instead of this thing? And then that might give us the link to the thing. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that was the problem the whole time. Original event dot position dot commit. That feels like it might work. Maximum uint. Back to this again. Why don't they want to give us the commit position of the event we just saved? Can we could, what's the question? Can we, let's see. Here we got two questions. Like, can we get, if we save 5 events, can we get all the commit positions?
Right. I feel like it should be part of the event. Right?
The original event? Because this is on yeah, this is reading this. Wait, it should be when we read it. Yeah.
Yeah, like
When reading events, when well, stream.
like how are you not gonna
Let's do a quick printf the, let's just do that again. So max,
which that's the commit and the prepare, right? Or
Yep.
something.
For
Yeah,
two events that are in the store right now. Go to the stream browser.
I mean, maybe what you originally said is, oh, because I'm running in memory.
Let's try it without in memory.
I mean, I don't
I don't know why that would matter. Maybe that does matter. Maybe in memory just doesn't have that thing. That would be interesting to know.
I mean, I'm pulling teeth or
No,
reaching for stars, but like,
yeah, it didn't work.
yeah, it's the same.
It's a good, it's a pretty good thing to look into though. How come I can't? Did I not start it with enable I just turned MemDB off. Why can't I see the thing again? No, because I was on a specific stream. All right, there we go.
There you go.
Stream browser, run the tests. Should be 2 events in there, 2 streams. Second one's got 2 in it. What were we going to look at? If
No,
the
it's
values
having a test.
should, yeah.
Yeah.
Why is the position not there? Maybe next time we'll invite one of the Go engineers to this session, or have just an ad hoc. I think they'd be happy to work with us on that.
Yeah.
It might be a different time zone issue, but I'm content to call it here because we're kind of at a stopping point, or at least we're blocked because we don't have access to the commit position when we read events.
Mhm.
I would love if we had access to the commit position when we saved events, like multiple. That would be really nice. Ooh, is it on the? Oh, because we save it with this,
Mhm.
and then we
I
try
mean,
to.
you could shove it in there. Well, no, you can't.
Let me look at the save and see if it's there when we save it. The right result, commit position. Percent the that commit position. What's in there? Should it prepare to
Why not?
commit?
Prepare.
Those values are there when we save it, but when we
So,
read it, we don't have them. Explain that one to me.
I would put that in your notes. Be like, we can see it from the append stream from the result, but not when we read. I mean, is there?
What is that thing?
It was on the read side.
So what was it? Stream. Oh no. Read stream events. So when we read stream events, then we call receive.
I mean, is there a different function we should call?
The sample reading from stream, you create a stream. I wish they had examples that actually worked with the store, then you could see the output of them.
Right.
And I could modify it and show them that, hey, this is actually doing max uint 64, but we just do a stream.receive. You should be able to call event dot
Event dot commit or position, whatever.
it's right here. Either original event. Well, I guess you have to call it original event, resolved event. Wait, why is it called resolved event? That's just what I call it, because receive gives you a resolved event. And resolved event, like commit is nil, right? Is that what we're
Yeah.
dealing with?
I saw some, I forget where it was when we were looking through their code, where it was saying if something set the commit equal to null or nil, sorry. I just forgot where I saw that.
Link or commit or event.
Maybe it was on
Original
receive.
event dot System metadata? What's in there? Let's look at that. And then we want to get also commit position.commit and then prepare. We'll say position dot whatever. Repair. Let's see what that looks like. So the commit on the resolved event is almost always nil. You have to call original event, and when you do, you're getting max. Why would it default to max? Usually the 0 value is what's defaulted if there's nothing there. Look at this, created. That's the time it was created for system metadata.
In
Yeah.
can you look at the receive? Yeah,
The receive method.
yeah. The like
See
we
what it
call
does, the internals.
yeah. Oh, this is this thing.
Yeah, it's like some kind of read stream. It's got a channel of a read response, and we can see how the event gets shoved in. Maybe. It just returns it there. Maybe on new.
Okay.
There we go. So if you've got an event, get resolved event from proto. What does that do?
Right there. That's where we saw it.
Commit,
No, position wire.
position
Yeah.
wire.
Yeah, see it right here. So like if API.read response if I have this, if I am a type of a position wire, right, then I put the value commit position. Otherwise, I don't have a commit position. That's why it's nil.
But it's not
I-
nil. It's well, that's why this one's nil. But I'm curious
Right.
why this thing is max uint. Like
Right.
recorded event from proto. Position from proto. I think we're getting closer. Go on, navigate. Commit is recorded event.get commit position. It returns either the commit position or 0, which is a uint 64.
But-
So something's going on with their protobuf, turning it into a commit position. Where
Yeah,
is
that's-
that done? Where is recorded event? Where does that happen from proto? From proto, so that's passed in. Get recorded event from proto, from event wire. Event wire comes from either event wire or link wire. I wish I understood what they were doing here.
Yeah.
Get event, X event, okay. Position
Yeah.
wire. Oh, this is so confusing.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to leave it at, we're so close though, but I just don't want to keep going in circles.
No, I don't think we can solve this until we talk to them.
X.event. So this thing, read response event. So where does this happen? I wish I could turn this stuff off. I forgot how to do it. That's all generated code. Maybe up here in the utils.
Recorded event.
Yeah, this is where we were earlier. Yeah. That's just, it just kind of tunnels down. Result.get event. And that's here. I'm looking for the code that actually creates a read response.
Oh, where were we? Scroll
Like
down.
it would have to be here. So something creates, oops.
Something
that.
creates that type. Yeah.
unless it's, is there a constructor for it? Parameter declaration, struct initialization. So here's a reset. Types of commit position. I wonder if it's a no position that's coming back. And no position is like this maximum int. Goes in no position. Shared empty. I don't know what that is. This is like protobuf stuff. I say we call it. We'll reach
Yeah.
out. I'll put some comments on that PR if they have out with our questions, which are, yeah, this is really unfun with a manually get the stream sequence number. What is this? Client delete stream does not return an error for stream not found. Yeah, it's just an oddity that
Yeah, those are the,
I'll reach out to them and see what they say. God, we're so close. But you know what? We got some code committed. We updated to their version, and then this is just kind of dangling. I'm not going to commit this because it will break CI/CD right now.
yeah.
But it is a branch, so it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, you're on a separate branch?
Yeah, I'm on EventStoreDB gRPC.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Do I want to commit this? Yeah, I'm going to commit this in case this is the whip. Tempting, I can always undo it, right? To add
Yeah, you can revert.
commit position to set to commit position. Yeah, that's fine.
Man, it's wild because we see the commit positions on the way in.
Yeah.
It's just on the way out.
Anyways, come on. Yeah, I have to jump off
No
as
worries.
soon as this is done, and then so that code's up if you want to see it. I'll post a link to what we did in the meetup page, and as well as on the Slack message board. So it looks like it's just us two. We're the only ones who stuck it out. I don't blame anyone else. We kind of hijacked the Go study group for kind of Go. We talked about some things that are like what you need to do with Go, but it kind of boiled down to some incompatibility stuff with the client library we're using. So we'll circle back. See you in 2 weeks, unless you want to sync up on some of this before then. Cool. Any questions? Thanks for sticking it out. This was super helpful having you there.
No, I enjoy it.
Cool.
So,
All right. See you next time.
so yeah.